Have you ever looked at a woman on the street, impeccably dressed, and thought to yourself, that outfit probably cost a fortune? Then you got closer and realized she was wearing a plain top. No sequins. No designer tag. No fancy fabric. Just a neckline. That's it. That's the whole secret. Here's something most women over 50 never get told. It's not the price tag that makes an outfit look expensive. It's not even the fabric. It's where the fabric sits on your body, and more specifically what it does around your neck, collarbone, and shoulders. Get that one detail right and a $5 top from a thrift store can look like it walked straight out of a Paris boutique. Get it wrong, and even the priciest blouse will hang on you, like you borrowed it from someone else's closet. Today I'm handing you 7 neckline tricks that stylists quietly use on their wealthiest clients. The ones nobody really talks about out loud. And by the end of this video, you're going to look at your own closet completely differently. Stick around because hack number 4 is the one I get asked about the most, and it costs you absolutely nothing to try. Welcome back to Timeless Style After 60, the place where we prove every single week that looking polished, elegant, and completely put together has nothing to do with your budget and everything to do with knowing the right little tricks. If this is your first time here, hi! I'm so glad you found us. Go ahead and settle in, maybe grab your tea or your coffee because we're about to have a real conversation about style, the kind that actually works for real bodies and real budgets. And if you're one of our regulars, welcome home. You already know how we do things around here, so let's get right into it. Before we dive in, if you're new here and you love what you see today, consider subscribing. We post videos just like this one every week, all designed to help you look effortlessly elegant without spending a fortune. And if you've got a moment, drop a comment below and let me know which decade you're dressing for right now. I read every single one. Alright, let's get into it. Hack 1, the collarbone rule. Let's start with the biggest myth in fashion. Most women think a high neckline looks more proper and modest, and a low neckline looks cheap or try hard. Wrong on both counts. Here's what actually separates expensive-looking women from everyone else. They dress to reveal the collarbone, not the chest. The collarbone is one of the most flattering bones on the entire female body. It's delicate, it catches light beautifully, and it instantly makes your neck look longer, and your whole upper body look lighter. So a neckline that sits right at or just below the collarbone, not too high, not too plunging, is the single most expensive-looking choice you can make. It's the exact reason those simple boat neck tops you see on well-dressed women in their 60s and 70s always look so put together. It's not the top. It's the placement. Next time you're shopping, forget checking the price tag first. Check where the neckline hits. If it grazes your collarbone, that top has already done half the work for you. Hack 2. The V-neck angle trick. Now, V-necks get a bad reputation because a lot of women feel they're too revealing after 50. But here's the secret nobody explains properly. It's not the depth of the V that matters, it's the angle. A wide, shallow V, one that spreads out gently across the chest rather than plunging straight down, does something remarkable. It creates a visual line that draws the eye outward and upward, which makes your shoulders look elegant and your whole frame look taller. Meanwhile, a narrow, deep V does the opposite. It drags everything downward and can actually make you look shorter and heavier, even on a slim frame. So the trick isn't to avoid V-necks altogether. It's to look for the wide, gentle ones. Think of it like an open book laying flat, rather than a knife pointing down. That subtle shift in geometry is what fashion insiders quietly call the silent tailor. It reshapes your whole silhouette without a single stitch of alteration. Hack 3. The scarf substitution. Here's one that will genuinely surprise you. If you own a plain crew neck top, the kind everyone assumes looks basic or boring, you don't need to replace it. You need to reroute it. Take a slim scarf, doesn't have to be silk, doesn't have to be expensive, and instead of wrapping it fully around your neck the traditional way, drape it loosely so it sits just off-center, dipping slightly toward one collarbone. This single move breaks up the flatness of a plain crew neck and creates what stylists call an asymmetrical focal point. Basically, it tricks the eye into thinking there's more structure and design happening than there actually is. This is the exact trick you'll notice on well-dressed women boarding first-class flights or walking into nice restaurants. 9 times out of 10, it's not a designer top. It's a $5 scarf draped with intention. Hack 4. The vertical line illusion. This is the one I promised you earlier, and it's genuinely my favorite because it costs nothing and works on every single body type. Necklines that include any kind of vertical detail, a button placket, a zipper, a wrap-style overlap, create what's called a vertical line illusion. This is one of the oldest tricks in high-end tailoring, and it works because the eye naturally follows lines. A vertical line running down from your neckline makes your whole body read as longer and leaner, instantly. Compare that to a plain, flat, horizontal neckline with no detail at all. Stops the eye right there. It doesn't lead anywhere. That's the difference between a top that looks like an afterthought and a top that looks tailored, even if you bought both of them from the exact same clearance rack. So next time you're shopping, run your finger down the front of the garment. If there's some kind of vertical detail, buttons, a subtle seam, a wrap closure, that top is doing more work for your silhouette than a plain one ever could. Now, if you're finding this genuinely useful, and I really hope you are, this is a great moment to hit that like button. It seriously helps this video reach more women, just like you, who are trying to look their absolute best without overspending. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, because we've got a whole library of these kinds of tricks waiting for you. Also, I'd love to know, which of these 4 hacks are you trying first? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one and I always reply. Okay, let's keep going, because hack number 5 might be the most underrated one on this entire list. Hack 5. The shoulder seam secret. Most women completely overlook this, but where the neckline meets the shoulder seam matters just as much as the neckline itself. If a shoulder seam sits even slightly too wide, past the actual edge of your shoulder, it creates a boxy, shapeless look no matter how nice the neckline is. Expensive-looking clothing almost always has a shoulder seam that sits precisely at your natural shoulder point. Not before it, not after it. This is why tailored blazers and structured tops look so sharp. The shoulder line is doing quiet, invisible work to frame your whole upper body correctly. Here's your at-home trick. Stand in front of a mirror and look at where the seam of your top actually sits. If it's drooping past your shoulder, even a cheap top can be pinned or tailored at that one seam for just a few dollars, and it will transform the entire garment. Hack 6. The layering peak. This next one is what I like to call the layering peak, and it's incredibly simple once you see it. Instead of wearing one neckline, you wear 2, letting a slightly different colored or textured layer peek out just barely beneath your main top. For example, a plain round neck sweater with the tiniest sliver of a collared shirt peeking out underneath instantly reads as put together, intentional, and yes, expensive. It suggests there was thought behind the outfit, even if that layer is actually just an old shirt you already owned. The key here is restraint. You're not trying to show off a whole second outfit, just a whisper of it. About ½ an inch is all it takes. Too much and it starts looking cluttered. Just a peek and it looks like a stylist got involved. Hack 7. The jewelry negative space rule. And finally, here's the hack that ties every other one together. It's not about adding jewelry, it's about understanding negative space. A neckline creates a frame, and that frame is either left empty, filled completely, or filled with intention. Expensive-looking women almost never do either extreme. They don't leave a deep neckline completely bare. And they don't pile on 5 necklaces either. They choose one single piece, sitting at a deliberate length, that either matches the depth of the neckline or intentionally contrasts it. For instance, a scoop neck paired with one delicate pendant that falls just above where the fabric ends creates balance. It completes the frame instead of competing with it. This is the final finishing touch that separates an outfit that looks nice from one that looks curated. So there you have it, 7 neckline secrets that have absolutely nothing to do with how much money you spend, and everything to do with how much attention you pay. Try even 2 or 3 of these this week, and I promise you someone is going to ask where you got that outfit. If this video helped you see your closet a little differently, do me a favor and give it a like. It truly helps this channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't so you never miss the next one, and tell me in the comments which hack surprised you the most. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, stay timeless.